All right, good morning, everyone. This is your review packet. Question number 62. There is a question posted about this problem. How do you do it? Okay, so before I go do this problem, I'm going to quickly remind you how we do fractions. So here you see that you have a long division bar, and then on the top, there is the numerator that happens to be a fraction, or basically the difference of two fractions. And then you have your denominator, which is also the sum of two fractions. So the idea when you have a problem like this is to make sure that you do whatever you do to the numerator so you have a single term. So right now you've got two different expressions and you are subtracting them from each other. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and basically treat this as two problems. This is part A and this is part B. All right, so let's do part A. So we have 3, let me just change this. We have 3 over x plus 1 minus 4 over x. All right, so we need to make the denominators the same. And whenever you work with fractions, just remember parentheses are your best friend. Okay, so what do I mean by that? The denominator for this 3 is x plus 1. Put in parentheses because the whole thing is together, okay? X plus 1, that's the whole denominator. Not just the x alone, not just the 1. On the other fraction, the denominator is just an x. So you want to make the denominators the same, all right? So what do we need? We need an x plus 1 on this side. And remember, we always do the same thing to the bottom and the same thing to the top. So that way we change the way it looks, but we don't change its value, okay? Now, if you go to the other side, you need an x because the denominators need to look the same. Whether it's a number or an algebraic expression like it is right now, it makes no difference. You have to make them the same, okay? All right, so I am going to go ahead and write the whole thing over x plus 1 times x. That's our common denominator. I'm going to do a little bit of mental math here, so watch me closely here. So you got your 3x, and then this one here times that will give you a minus 4x. This minus 4 times a 1 is going to give you a negative 4. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. You have the 3x. Oops. I have to combine like terms here. So 3x and negative 4x is going to give you a negative 1x minus a 4. And in a denominator, you have your x plus a 1 times x. We're going to do one more thing. You will realize that in this class, you need to do a lot of things, okay? They are checking to make sure that you know your algebra very well. For instance, again, that there's a parentheses around the minus x minus 4. Again, we don't tell you that, but as a high-level student, you should know that. We are going to go ahead and factor a negative 1 out, okay, from the numerator. So I'm going to factor out a negative 1. That's going to leave me with x plus a 1. And I'm just doing that. I don't know. Oops, it's not plus 1. I just made a mistake here. It's plus 4. So I don't know if I can simplify this any further, but this is what I can do for the moment. Okay, so this is basically what I am going to put on the top of my original problem. Okay, so I have a negative 1 here, and then I have an x plus 4. In a denominator, I have my x plus 1, and I have an x. Wait a minute, I think I made a mistake again. Sorry about that. These kind of problems are very, very, very tedious. Gotta be very careful. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and again rewrite it negative 1 and then x plus 4 divided by my x plus 1 over x. Okay, so that's the numerator. Okay, and although it doesn't look nice, it is one single expression now, okay? It is just a fraction, a complex fraction, algebraic fraction, but it's one thing, and that's what we want. We are going to do the same thing to the bottom. So we are looking at 4 over x plus 1 parentheses plus a 3 over, I believe, an x. Okay, so we're just going to do the same. Find the common denominator. You will be very good at this in no time, okay? Just you see an x on the other side, so you need an x here on this side. And of course, in the first denominator, you have x plus 1, so you also need an x plus 1 here. And just clean it up. You have x plus 1 times x. You have 4x plus 3x plus 1. Cleaning it up gives you 7x plus 1. And I'll put in parentheses. And you have that over x plus 1 and x. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and write that down. You have a 7x plus 1. And then you have your x plus 1 and x. Okay? All right. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do now, because I need space, I'm going to go ahead and cut this part. And I'm just going to put it down here so I have more space. Maybe not on a new page. Okay, oops, that's the wrong one. That was the new one. Let's see, go back. I suppose I need to, okay, try it again. No, I need to cut. Thank you. Okay, I need to, or maybe I'll just copy. Okay, and putting it here. All right, and we are going to go ahead and finish from here. Okay, so notice that in a long division bar is actually a division problem, okay? So what you can do at this point is say, okay, now what I really have is I have two fractions being divided together, okay? So you can rewrite this as -1 x plus 4 over x plus 1 over x. That's the first fraction. You are going to change this division problem to a multiplication problem, okay? So this is a division problem. That's what that long division bar means. So we're going to change it to a multiplication problem. So you remember it's going to be a multiplication. We're going to change the division to a multiplication. And then we are going to flip the second fraction. This is the second fraction. We're going to flip it, okay? So we're going to have the x plus 1 over, times x, and then put the 7x plus 1 down here. And now you see that you can actually cancel this term with that term, these two terms. So the x plus 1 cancels the x plus 1, and the x cancels the x. All right, so that's going to leave us with a negative x plus 4 over 7x plus 1. You can put parentheses here if you like. Notice I pulled that negative sign and put it in the front. So your final answer for this problem, hopefully, if you do it and do it with a partner, hopefully both of you come to this conclusion that the answer is negative x plus 4 over 7x plus 1. I will be posting the answers to these later on today because I know that some of you are almost done with the packet. You contacted me, you wanted to look at the answers. I have no problems. The idea is for you to do this and remember how to do these problems, okay? So I will be posting the answers later on, and you can check your work between now and next Tuesday, all right? So this is the answer to number 62. Sorry, it's a long, lengthy solution, but hopefully I covered everything that you need to remember. Thank you.